What's going on at First Baptist Church? Well, a lot of things. I'm going to kind of start with things that have already taken place, then talk about things that are coming up this Sunday and beyond. So, just to look backwards for a moment, about a month ago, we had our leadership training for life groups, and we had a really great turnout for that. And those on the Board of Christian Education prepared a breakfast and participated in so many ways. And I just want to express my appreciation to you for all of your hard work there. Coming out of that, what we had was a clear vision for how our life groups help us to fulfill our purpose as a church, how we can use life groups to help people grow in their knowledge and love for Jesus Christ, as well as to connect with others within our church family. So we're excited about that, and we have several classes that continue to meet, and then we have new classes that are going to begin meeting. So just for clarification purposes, for now on, all of our adult Sunday school classes will be called life groups. All of our classes and groups that meet outside of the church throughout the week will be called life groups, but the kids' classes on Sunday morning will continue to be called Sunday school. And so the reason for that is that we have a streamlined leadership process for life group leaders. We have submission guidelines and expectations and those sort of things. And we've had a number of people who have stepped up and have been interested. And as I said, continuing to lead life groups or to launch new ones. And so with that, we have several that are ongoing. Scott Viner's Pilgrim's Progress study that meets at 6:30 every other Sunday morning continues. Joe and Greg's class, Worship, the Ultimate Priority, is going to continue for several more weeks. Rebecca Little's Engaging Today's Prodigal is going to continue. And the two studies that I'm leading right now. So the one is Love Thy Body, and it addresses issues related to human sexuality, as well as other matters that are significant in our culture, such as euthanasia. How do Christians feel about that? The transgender discussion, human sexuality. So we're going to spend some time developing those, and we have. You are certainly welcome to come. That life group is in between services with the rest of those that meet on Sunday morning. The one at my house, which meets the second and fourth Wednesday of every month, we are studying a book called We Will Not Be Silenced. We have a few new life groups launching over the course of the next month. Lauren Little's Contagious Christian, which helps people understand how to share the gospel effectively. You don't need to be a pastor. You don't have to have a seminary degree or anything like that. There are ways that we can engage people with the gospel message. And if you've ever wondered, well, how can I be a more faithful or more effective witness for Christ? This will be a great study for you. Pastor Terry and Joy are going to have a life group in their home that is going to be based on a Dr. David Jeremiah study called Forward. The Wilsons will be doing a life group on adulting for young adults. And so I'm really excited about that because that's a ministry, that's a demographic to which we have not really had a lot of ministries going on at the moment. So there's a lot of things that are coming up. There are others who are interested in launching life groups, who've been praying about that and are searching for curriculum. And I hope to be able to share those updates with you whenever we have them available. Also, another ministry that has taken place over the last month or so was our Heavenly Treasures ministry. I didn't know what to think of what would happen over the Heavenly Treasures ministry weekend. The idea, we're going to give out dresses. What sort of ministry opportunities are we going to have? I can just tell you my eyes were really opened. One, the organization of the ministry. We had so many people help. Some for just a moment here or there, helping carry something in, helping setting something up, organizing clothes and the dresses, shoes, jewelry, purses, the whole nine yards. We had people helping with food, people that were on the registration table, even members of our community who don't attend our church. We had women leading these girls through the stations and looking at dresses, and we had others who showed up to make alterations to the dresses. So they were sewing. I know some of the alterations they made were pretty extensive, and they were able to do that right here, which is pretty remarkable. As a disclaimer, I would not have passed home ec if it wasn't for cooking. On the sewing aspect, I failed miserably, so I wasn't helping in that capacity. But it was great to be a part of. We gave out around 60 dresses. But the thing that was most was such a blessing to me was the opportunity we had to minister to these girls. Um, some of the girls who came through the line with prayer requests carry such heavy burdens, and as they open up and shared, I had a girl come into the prayer booth with me and just begin crying and open up and share something that she felt free to share with a pastor and to ask for prayer, but a heavy burden that she was carrying. And one of the things that dawned on me as we keep our young people in prayer is those graduating high school, and I trust those graduating college. These young people, as they are looking forward to graduation, for some, graduation feels like a gateway into this next exciting season. We want to pray God's blessing upon them and discernment for their future plans. And so there are some that fit into that category. There are others who are coming up to graduation and viewing it as a cliff. You know, they're carrying such heavy burdens, and what am I going to do next? When I leave my family to go off to college, am I abandoning them? Who's going to do what I'm doing in the house? Some of these girls were helping really to parent or serve as guardians for their children, for their siblings. And so they've been ones preparing meals and helping them get ready for school as their parents have worked or have been absent in some cases. And these girls who were sharing these things, they're carrying such a heavy burden, even guilt on moving into this next phase of life that they've worked so hard for. So there are many ways to pray for them. And I just encourage you, just in general, to keep all of our young people in prayer as they approach graduation, they approach the summer and this next season of their lives, whatever that would look like. But just to remind you, the Heavenly Treasures ministry, what was communicated throughout it was that it's not about the dress, it's about the girl, and it's about reaching her at the love of Jesus. And I'm excited to seeing us do that again next year. So those are two ministry things. We have gone back to doing some things that were done in the church before the pandemic. We've done that just recently. Two of those things have been a meet and greet time, as well as passing the offering, I don't want to say plate, but baskets, passing the offering baskets around. And so kind of as a humorous note, one of the questions that I've been asked is, do we start passing the offering plate because you felt it would generate more offering? And the answer to that is no. We began that for the same reason that we began going back to a meet and greet. And that was because there's an aspect there's a component of worship in which, we gather together as a congregation. We are one family, and we are doing these things together. We can give in many ways, and our online giving, by the way, is back up. It had been down for about a month, and so people can give online, and that's a wonderful thing. For some, the opportunity to give in the offering basket as it's being passed, and to do that in unison with other brothers and sisters in Christ is very encouraging and uplifting for them. And so that's a wonderful thing. We wanted to create an opportunity for that throughout the pandemic that was not going on, but we felt now was an appropriate time to get back to it. And the same with the meet and greet. We want to be in fellowship with one another. We want to create space for those who come into our gathering to be able to connect with individuals, even those perhaps they do not know very well. And so we've gotten back to those sort of components to our morning worship service. As a notable change to our schedule, however, we will be observing the Lord's Supper this Sunday instead of the first Sunday in April. And the reason behind that was that when we observe the Lord's Supper, it's a reflective time. It's a time where we reflect upon what Jesus has done, where we remember his promise to come again. And so we come together as one family in Christ and observe the Lord's Supper by partaking of the bread and the cup. And we are going to do that this upcoming morning worship services. During the morning worship services this week, our diaconate board, as always, will be assisting in that. We will observe the Lord's Supper as we have, with people being dismissed from the back to come forward to take of the elements and then to return to their seats. As a reminder, if you're unable to come forward, that's okay. You can raise your hand, and one of the ushers, I believe, will be asked to help with assisting and getting the elements to you. But that will be this upcoming Sunday. Also, this Sunday, following the second morning worship service, we will have a meeting for our New Mexico short-term mission trip. This is a great opportunity to go to a Navajo tribe, Navajo reservation in New Mexico and to minister to them. It is a relational short-term mission trip, and because of the generosity of our church family and because of the fundraisers that we will be doing here in the upcoming weeks and months, it's a fairly inexpensive mission trip, a short-term mission trip, and so we want that to be as accessible as possible for you. If you are interested in learning more about that trip or signing up for it, please do come to that meeting or reach out to me individually, and we'll make sure that we get you signed up and that you are aware of everything that's taken place. For the Guatemala mission trip that is also in July, there are already fundraisers that are planned, and so I want to draw your attention to that. On Easter Sunday, you're going to get up and you're going to be excited. There's many things going on, but one of the things you don't have to worry about is making breakfast. So the mission committee will be selling cinnamon rolls. They'll be making those on Good Friday, and they will be available for purchase on Sunday morning. Again, the proceeds for that go to the Guatemala short-term mission trip, so I encourage everybody to purchase some if possible. Also, there are plans in place to organize a cookbook that will be for sale down the road. That will be a fundraiser, and as always, the RADA ongoing online fundraiser for the mission committee is still ongoing, and so we want to draw your attention to that. As we are then turning our attention to the summer, just to share a couple of quick notes. One, as I said, we have the short-term mission trips coming up in July. The one to New Mexico is in the first week of July. During the last week of July will be that mission trip to Guatemala. We had previously announced that we are searching for a summer youth intern. We have not filled that position yet, so we continue to pray about prospective applicants, and hopefully we can get moving on that pretty soon. I will communicate that with you when we have candidates available for it. After I preach through Acts, we'll pause for 2 weeks during Palm Sunday and Easter, and we're gonna have standalone messages. How my brain just forgot Palm Sunday, I don't know. But we're gonna have 2 standalone sermons. We'll get back to Acts, and then going into the summer, I'll be preaching through the book of Daniel. And that's significant because the theme for our VBS will be on Daniel. And so excited about that. Our adults and our youth will all be learning together at parts of the summer, and so that's going to be exciting. But of course, VBS begins that first week in August. So really excited. Well, that's the duration of it, will be the first week in August. We're really excited about that. 3 other quick announcements. One, this upcoming Saturday, of course, is our Aspire Women's Conference. There's a lot of work that's gone into that for our Women Who Rise ministry, putting that together, praying for it. Please join with me in praying for that ministry this weekend, that the hearts of women and girls would be stirred for the Lord. We're just excited. Over 200 tickets have been sold. I believe there are still opportunities to purchase one if that would be something of interest to you. Just excited to be able to see the Lord do exciting things through that ministry. Also, there's going to be a cleanup day at Camp Judson on Saturday, April 29th. I'm looking forward to us sending a big crew, if at all possible, to that trip, to that cleanup day and work day. So if you would be interested in that at all, please do speak with me or Brad Marwood. I know he has a great passion for that. We had talked about it last night, actually, at our diaconate meeting, and he said, it'd be great if we can get a good team to this, and he has such a great passion for it, which is, contagious. When somebody's excited about something for the Lord, it's something you want to participate in as well. But the week it was originally scheduled for, I'm going to be on vacation. I said, I'm not going to be able to make it. Well, then I look at the computer today and I get an email first thing, and it says, hey, the day has been changed, and I can make it, so I will. and I hope you'll join with me. So April 29th, we'll be going to Camp Judson and doing some work. So it's going to be a great blessing. There might be some who'd say, I would love to do one of these short-term mission trips, but I can't take a week off, or I can't miss, or that's too far, or whatever it might be. But Camp Judson's right here, and we have an opportunity to help. And so really excited about that. And as a final note, and as an announcement, update, prayer request, all in one. We continue to pray for Pastor Tracy and his family as they prepare to move from Massachusetts here to I would say Western Pennsylvania, but actually they are under contract for a house in Ohio. And so just across the border, we want to pray for that process. They just had an inspection done on Monday, but pray everything continues to go smoothly for them. They should be moving sometime in late June, early August, early July, late June, early July, and so they'll have some time off between their move and when Pastor Tracy begins here. But we will update you on specific dates as they approach. I just want to draw your attention to the fact that they have had the opportunity to go under contract for a house. We are praising the Lord for that. We are praising, we are praying that. That process will continue to go smooth. We will pray that their house up in Massachusetts will sell quickly as well, that they would not have a lot of stress as they pack and prepare to move, that the Lord would just minister to all of their needs across this journey. We're excited about it. I know you are. And so it's going to be just a great time. Please do continue to pray for them and for our church families. We look forward to everything that God has done and is doing and will continue to do. Periodically, I share videos like this where I provide updates. But if you have any questions at all about what's happening in the church, things that are coming up, please do reach out to me. We want you to be informed. We want you to know what's going on and why we're doing the things that we are. May God bless you.